So we all know by now that the upcoming Black Widow film takes place after Civil War but before Avengers Infinity War. That means that many of the key players that are no longer in the MCU, such as Captain America and Iron Man, are still out there alive and well. But we're going to take a step back and talk about how some of these characters already have relationships that we've never had mentioned before. Specifically, Red Guardian and Steve Rogers, aka Captain America. So I will have this linked in the description down below for you guys in case you guys want to check it out. There is some extra stuff that we're not going to talk about in this, but we're going to talk about that relationship and that big confirmation. So in a recent interview, David Harbour, who of course plays Red Guardian Alexei, he opens up about taking on this role, and he talks about the idea of being Red Guardian and some of the inspiration that the character clearly took from Captain America, like the suit for example. But he deep dives more into it and talks about the fact that these characters actually do share war stories together, they've worked together, and in that scene that we saw in the trailer for Black Widow, where they're sitting down for dinner, he even asks Natasha if Cap ever asks about him and how he's doing. So now they placed it in history that Red Guardian and Captain America have actually teamed up, they know each other, and they're friends. Which now brings more questions into the light. Where was Red Guardian during the final assault in Avengers Endgame? That might be a spoiler, but you see, you know, maybe this kind of gives us hope that maybe they'll touch upon some of that. Maybe we'll have some flashbacks. You know, I don't think they're going to bring back Chris Evans, but maybe they can tell a few stories kind of to ground this a little bit more in there. And to me, this just kind of adds another factor into the MCU that maybe we're going to see something like this a little bit more in the MCU. Because if Captain America has teamed up with Red Guardian, for example, who's to say when we get Logan that they're not going to reveal that he teamed up with Wolverine during those years in World War II during Captain America, the First Avenger? Again, just because we didn't see it doesn't mean on some of the missions that it didn't happen. And that's really the story here. I love how they're future building these relationships in the past, and hopefully, you know, we get something out of this, because to me, Red Guardian looks absolutely awesome. You know, I thought David Harbour did the best he could with the terrible script he had in Hellboy, and that's not taken off, so I'm hopeful that maybe this will. And my hope is maybe they'll keep him alive. Maybe they'll be like, you know what, during reshoots, people really liked your character. We're gonna reshoot that and keep you alive. I'm assuming he dies. I don't know. It just doesn't spell good because he wasn't in Endgame. Although if he was in Endgame, that might be a little confusing on why there's a Ruski captain. Whatever.